Welcome to Back to the Bible. Week 2, Peace. Day 8, Heard but unanswered. Collect yourself before God. Psalms chapter 22 verses 1 and 2. My God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from saving me? From the words of my groaning, O my God, I cry by day, but you do not answer, and by night, but I find no rest. God's promise for today, Luke chapter 1 verse 13. But the angel said to him, Do not be afraid, Zechariah, for your prayers has been heard. Consider today's truth. It's too late. Those are not good words when filing taxes, catching a plane, looking for work, or buying a house. We don't want to hear, it's too late. It means the door of opportunity is shut. What we wanted has passed us by. When there is no recourse left, it upsets us, and especially so if we have been talking to God about it. There are occasions when we have prayed about a matter and then it seems too late. Looking at what might have been, Zechariah and Elizabeth knew how that felt. The seniors have lived faithful to the law and were devoted to God. Yet they were childless. God withheld from them the blessing bestowed upon others. It was a mark of dishonor, if not shame, that they had no son or daughter. Still, their persistent prayers for a child went unanswered. God seemed to be deaf to their plea. Now, the opportunity for pregnancy was past. They were barren and advanced in years. Praying when it makes little sense. This married couple remained faithful. There is no hint of bitterness from them in Luke's account. Zechariah served his priestly function, and it seems that they continued to pray when prayer seemed foolish. As Zechariah burned incense within the temple, Gabriel appeared and shocked Zechariah to the ground. The angel's first words were, Do not be afraid, for your prayers have been heard. The angel assures Zechariah that God has been listening to them. God heard their prayers the very first time. He heard it every time that they had asked for a child. God especially heard the prayers that ascended long after anyone thought they could make a difference. God didn't conclude that it was too late. Gabriel promised Zechariah that he and Elizabeth would have a son. To a senior couple whose lives had much more in the past than the future, the angel said, You will have joy and gladness. Luke chapter 1 verses 14. Peace of being heard. Zechariah and Elizabeth must have had sleepless nights over the decades. For years they prayed, but nothing happened. It's safe to assume that there were days of despair. We were not told how they held on, but the first angelic words to them were enlightening. God heard them. The confusion of unanswered prayer is often rooted in the questions, Did God hear me? Is He listening to me? Does He care? The peaceful resolve to a confusion in prayer is this: God hears me. It's true among us. Children, spouses, friends, even enemies, all want to know that they have been heard. When we pray, whatever result comes from our prayer, it begins with being heard. We can find peace knowing that God sees, knows, and hears. Receive God's promise. You have something that you have been praying for repeatedly, but it has not yet happened. What is it? What are your feelings about God's denial or delay? It can be confusing, painful, or even faith-shaking. Let Gabriel's assurance become your comfort. Your prayer has been heard. Peace of soul arrives through different paths, but it begins by knowing that God is not insensitive to your cries. Bethlehem is proof that the prayers of God's people have been heard. He has given us His Son. He has given Himself. Reflect with God. Consider the truth of Luke chapter 1 verses 13 and respond to this teaching with prayer. God bless you.